Hey, it's Drew Bennett from Big Damn Kid, and it is January 21st, which means it's the 21st issue of Transformers from 1986. And here you can see on the cover, we've got the Aerialbots fighting the new Coneheads. Alright, so you got Dirge and Thrust and Ramjet fighting all the Aerialbots. In this issue, we also see, we open up on... the issue's called Aerialbots Over America, and you can see right here on Earth we have an Insecticon. It's Bombshell. Bombshell is watching this family here, the Vasquez family, and Ricky Vasquez, the father. He works at the Hoover Dam power, the power grid there at Hoover Dam, the hydroelectric plant. Well, Bombshell goes down and he zaps. He injects a cerebro shell into Ricky, and so it makes its way through to his brain, and Bombshell now is in control of Ricky, who is heading off to work because he's got to keep the power going for people, even though it's 4th of July. But he promises he'll be home for the fireworks for his daughter, and he starts driving off. But he drives to where Megatron is kicking back with Kickback and Shrapnel. No, really, he's like all relaxed there. Who kind of poses that for Decepticon? I guess they can be at ease at some point. But Megatron's there with the Insecticons, and the Insecticons are on Earth because the space bridge was fixed. And the space bridge was fixed, so those guys came over on the space bridge, and they're working with Megatron and Bombshell. He can control people, and he's even made this guy lick his foot. I mean, he's like, I can make him do anything. I can make him eat, toxic waste, and it can also make him clean his foot of this oil and lick it off. Yeah, Decepticons are awful. So, Megatron transforms into gun mode, and he and the Insecticons drive in with Ricky into the power plant. So they're at the Hoover Dam, which the Hoover Dam actually comes up in the Transformers movie, in the 2007 Transformers movie. So we get the Hoover Dam. It shows up often. Actually, an Optimus and Megatron fight on the Hoover Dam as well. Because they figure we'll go there for the hydroelectric power. And this scheme of theirs for the hydroelectric power is a little bit different. So Ricky drives up, and he's got Megatron with him, and he drives up to the power plant, and the absolute worst security guard ever lets Ricky walk on in with a handgun, giant handgun, plainly in his hand. He doesn't notice it at all. Ricky kind of walks in, Kickback kicks down the door. He holds up, tells all these guys that shut the power down. And he's carrying Megatron around as his gun. Tells him to shut off the power, turn off the dam. And you can tell he's being controlled because every word is very, very, very controlled. So that's what's happening with him. Meanwhile, back at the Ark, we've got Optimus Prime getting fixed up from the fight on issue number 19. So he's got a wound there. I think he was trying to save somebody, and one of the things swiped his side there. So Ratchet's fixing him up, and Ratchet's like, get this human out of here because he has moisture and he could rust Optimus Prime. This is a safe room, a sterile environment. So, Donny Finkleberg is there. Skids has come back after his Western adventure, and he's got Donny Finkleberg with him, and Donnie's there to tell the Autobots that there were 7 other Autobots that came through the space bridge, and he is trying to get them to trust him. He wants to prove to them that the 7 Autobots came through the space bridge. So Optimus tells Jetfire to take him out to the site of where that happened. And they're also interrupted by Bumblebee, who tells them about a broadcast that the Hoover Dam has been shut down, and there's a gunman there, and let's see, I don't know. Yeah, so they're saying the gunman wields a handgun of incredible power. So Optimus automatically thinks, oh, it's Megatron. So he takes off, and Ratchet's like, I haven't finished fixing you yet. You gotta stay here, but he doesn't. Optimus goes outside, and there's Wheeljack and a whole bunch of planes. Okay, these are the Aerialbots. So Optimus gave them life with the creation matrix, but he seems to have only programmed Silverbolt. And that we find out later. He's only programmed Silverbolt. The rest of the guys are, I guess they're just flying around on some rudimentary programming or whatever. And Wheeljack helped engineer them and make them. And so they are combiners. And they learn that information on how to make a combiner by watching Devastator in issue 19. So we get our Aerialbots. They transform. Okay, so we've got Silverbolt the leader, Fireflight. I'm sorry, we got Silverbolt the leader. Here we got Slingshot, Fireflight, Air Raid, and Skydive. So all the different, the five Aerialbots who combine later to form Superion. So Optimus tells the Aerialbots they gotta fly out to Hoover Dam because they're the fastest, they can get there first. And they're like, all right, go ahead. I mean, they've never been tested before. They've never done any action before. They've never seen any action. And Wheeljack tells them, because except for Silverbolt, we hadn't completed the programming of their personalities. So it's interesting that their personalities get programmed. They don't just evolve. So some of these earlier books, earlier issues, there's different ways in which the Transformers came to be. So we're back at the dam, and Ricky's family shows up, and they find out that Ricky's the one who's behind all this, and their daughter's very upset, and Ricky is now he's holding up everybody down at the dam. The Insecticons turn the dam back on because the space bridge, the space bridge opens up, and the three Coneheads come in. Those are the three other Seekers whose heads stayed up instead of going back, so they call them the Coneheads. And it's Thrust and Dirge and Ramjet. So they go to guard the space bridge. Space bridge is there, and what comes through the space bridge is this giant drill. So what they intend to do is drill through the Hoover Dam so that the water goes rushing in through the space bridge through their own hydroelectric contraption on Cybertron. So they're actually trying to get the water to go from Earth to Cybertron in order to power something hydroelectric. Their plans are always convoluted. I mean, if they just, gathered the Energon on Earth or whatever, I don't know. It's an Autobot plan. I mean, it's a Decepticon plan, so sometimes they're convoluted. So Jetfire, he and Donny Finkleberg go out to the site where the 7 Autobots that came across the space bridge in issue number 18, where they supposedly were, and Donny slips on some fuel, and Jetfire realizes that it is Autobot fuel, it's Transformers fuel, and so they have to go and follow the scent of that fuel to find the other Autobots, to see what happened to them. They don't know what happened to them, and Donny is still trying to get them to trust him, but they really don't because of his being the robot master and all that. So Aerialbots come to the dam, and they engage with the Coneheads flying around, so doing some aerial maneuvers, trying to attack the space bridge and all that, and meanwhile, Ricky is down in the control center, and the Insecticons are there, Megatron's there. The Aerialbots continue to fight. They start to lose, but then they start using their weapons and attack the Coneheads. The drill is continuing to go on, and the battle continues. So it's just a lot of battle scenes, and ultimately they can't stop the drill, so they form Superion. So this is all the the Aerialbots together. They form Superion, and they go to attack the drill to stop the drill. But while they do that, their higher functions are not taken over. Silverbolt is not strong enough in his programming to overcome Superion, and Superion tries to attack the humans. So Silverbolt knows that what's going on here, and so he makes the Superion stop. Meanwhile, Ricky is up on the top. He's got Megatron. He's starting to fight against the Cerebro shell, and his daughter comes running out, and that's basically what knocks him into reality again. So here he's holding Megatron, and he realizes that he's fighting it, and Megatron wants him to pull the trigger and kill Superion. Meanwhile, Superion is trying to fight and overcome his urge to kill the humans. So the Aerialbots disassemble and they go flying off. Megatron's still trying to get him to blast Silverbolt, but Ricky is fighting and fighting, and he says no, and he won't do it. So he blasts the drill and the space bridge. So the space bridge disappears. Megatron takes off with the Insecticons carry Megatron off. And the Aerialbots go back to the Autobot base. The Bombshell hitches a ride. So Bombshell is going to make himself get to the Autobot base. Ricky is himself again, but he's got a lot of explaining to do. Ricky, you got some explaining to do. Actually, Lucy usually does. And we cut over, and you probably saw just a little bit of that. We cut over to this hangar, okay, in the epilogue. We cut over to this hangar, and it's the headquarters of R.A.A.T, which is Rapid Anti-Robot Assault Team, R.A.A.T. So R.A.A.T is a top-secret government agency set up by I.I.I, the Information and Intelligence, Information Intelligence Agency, but it's not agency, Institute. So the I.I.I set up R.A.A.T. There's going to be a lot of acronyms going on here. And there, you see some humans working on a robot. And what they're doing is they're taking his face off. They're taking his head off because it's going on the wall of trophies of Circuit Breaker. Yes, Circuit Breaker returns. She looks 20 feet tall in that shot. Obviously, it's forced perspective. But there she is in all her metal glory. And she has got the 7 Autobots that came across on the space bridge, and she is mounting their heads on a wall. Yeah, she is not messing around. So, we get new Autobots, the Aerialbots, Superion, a combiner for the Autobots, and we see the other Autobots that came from Cybertron are on Earth, but they have been captured, and basically their faces have been taken off by Circuit Breaker. We got new Decepticons. We got Kickback, Shrapnel, and Bombshell. We got some Seekers. We got Thrust and Dirge and Ramjet. All those guys are now on Earth. So we're going to see as the issues come along, more and more and more Transformers. They are coming fast and furious into the issues. And speaking of Fast and Furious, we're going to be looking at the Stunticons coming in the next issue, which you can see tomorrow. Hey, Drew Bennett from Big Damn Kid. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook as Big Damn Kid. You can find me here doing issues every day. And I'd love it if you subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think is going on here. If you think it's good or not. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear Talk Transformers. Let's do it. Anyway, thanks for watching.